I was doing Vere on Fuchan's TOUCHSTARVED presentation. How did I do? How did your Doppio do, huh? How did your Doppio do? Did I do good? Were you proud of me when I voice acted, huh? Yeah. 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 Ha 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 ha. Jumpy, aren't you? I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. City like this, somebody might take advantage. Keeping your distance.
Till I figure out how you managed to rob me? Yeah, I am.
You think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over here?
He gives an exaggerated sigh.
Ah, I am good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you?
And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, potted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy. I doubt I could afford your services anyway.
Luckily for you, I don't charge.
The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into that shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot.
I'm flattered, really. Were sex my trade, I might make an exception for you. How about half off for a handy?
You could just hand over my key.
Ask nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail.
Just throw it here.
You're obviously not from around here. So, tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder?
He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his finger.
The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters.
I know, right? He looks very expensive. You already know he's good with his hands.
And perhaps his tail.
Perhaps his tongue, since he was licking his canines too. He's all over the place.
Wait, we have to be serious.
Yeah, sorry. We're back in this.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You know what I'm gonna do.
Let's go.
How'd you know that I spent all my money starved and nearly died in a swamp just so I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I saw? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes.
Aren't you funny?
So good. Could you be any more obvious?
I have been told subtlety is not my strength. So, your place, or mine?
I'd invite you if I had my key. His languid gaze glides from me to the key in his hand and back.
Come, take my hand and we'll go together.
I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack or bite.
I won't bite hard, unless you beg me. Naturally, this dump was little more than a miserable little smear when I first arrived. High-town, low-town, I know Eridia like the back of my hand.
And what about the cenobium? Do you know where that is? His smile vanishes.
The cenobium's overrated. Forget about it.
It's my business. What's it matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him.
Your loss.
The stranger, finally bored of his tedious game, extends his hands towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key. But as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Hey! He yanks me down and I stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them, even as his fingers dig into my arm.
I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death in the road. And that fucking doctor.
His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil as he pulls me closer.
And something else.
He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. Let go! I try to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread against me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead.
Not quite human, not quite monster. Seems we're both.
Word of advice, don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it.
She shrugs off a wilting look from Vere.
Oh, please. Any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still.
Vere rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly, it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from the harness attached to his collar, but a leash. A heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. Vere posed deliberately to hide his leash from me. The woman produces a keyring from her pocket. She rifles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock.
Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on our merry little soulless hunt.
He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back.
Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed. I almost didn't see you there, Min. Looking for your booster seat.
Min pushes back their hood. They level Vere with a cool look. I thought Ace wasn't allowed to bring his pets in here. Vere's tail gives an angry twitch.
I'm starting to suspect he's stalking me.
A resounding pop pierces the tin of the bar. We all turn in the direction of the noise. Vere looks almost bashful as he accepts an overflowing flute from the bartender, poured from a bottle so old its label has been worn blank.
They serve champagne here? Since when?
Vere pauses in the middle of licking champagne foam from his fingers with a coy smile.
You don't mind, do you?
No.
No, God, no. More.
I was gonna say.
Until I hear a voice so soft and low that it's practically a purr.
Ooh, lost your tour guide?
You're gonna make me purr, oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
Why are you so far away? Come, join us.
He pats the empty bar stool beside Ace, but I hesitate. The smile Vere wears is sweet and distinctly sly. And with drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Ace will mess with me next.
We don't bite.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Just hours ago, he tried to rob me, and you threatened me.
How about we start fresh, Begin with proper introductions, get off on the right foot and whatnot. I'll start. The name's Vere, hunter extraordinaire.
Vere's right hand flutters to his chest, and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls into his eyes.
It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Fulgur.
He says my name slowly and deliberately, savoring every syllable. A tingle jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away.
Fulgur.
Finally, he sniffs and spits on the floor next to me.
Patooey.
Vere takes a delicate sip from his glass, but his tail thrashes below the bar.
You've caught me red-handed. However will you punish me? So, you survived the night. Are you here for praise or will a headpat do?
How do you know I left Iridia? I'm certain I wasn't being followed when I left.
I have a very sensitive nose, remember?
Right. How could I forget? Do you normally greet people by shoving your nose into their laps like an overeager Labrador? For a heartbeat, Vere's eyes grow wide and flat. Then he laughs under his breath.
Only the ones I like. But the truth is, I despise most people. I haven't made up my mind about you yet. People like us can't help but attract danger, yet you seek it out, and for what? Cheap thrills. Will you trust me?
For now.
Good enough for me.
I thought you didn't like most people.
Ace isn't most people. He's better. He's...
I really don't think Ace is as bad as you're saying.
You don't know him. Not like I do. I've never seen an ass be described as pert before.
Me
A new
neither.
vocabulary word.
Oh, I get what they mean though. Like, you can imagine the tightness to that shit.
Oh no, he'd enjoy that far too much. To call Leander trash would be an insult to nature. He's a pathetic, slimy little man-child in big shiny shoes. I've seen mutts rotting in gutters with more dignity. I haven't got all night for idle gossip. For the same reason they'll disappear you, given half the chance. I'm something special. See this collar?
He cranes his neck, inviting me to lean closer.
Looks unremarkable, doesn't it?
I'd assumed that Vere's collar was a personal touch. On closer glance, the thick, supple leather is molded to fit the neck snugly, but the large silver buckle seems easily enough to pry open. I reach forward to touch the buckle, but Vere's hand lashes out. Long, slender fingers wrap around my wrist, exerting just enough pressure to hint at how easily he could snap my bones.
Don't you know better than to touch without asking? Because I said so. Fuck fairness. Life's not fair.
His voice lowers to a pleased rumble.
Patience, Fulgur. I'll tell you when and how you can touch me. Behave, or I'll make you bleed. I'm bound by their will until the day I die. Isn't that obvious? I wanted to lure you out here alone so I could eat you.
You're lying again.
And you're asking far too many questions for someone hiding so much.
I turn only to find his left hand resting on the wall beside my head, caging me in.
Cabedon!
Cabedon, baby! It had to happen eventually.
Vere reaches for me. His fingers curl around my chin and lift, forcing me to meet his lidded gaze.
Would you believe me if I said that the eyes are the windows to the soul?
My eyelid twitches.
Cliché, I know, but let me tell you a little secret.
Vere leans in until his lashes tickle my cheek, and the warm, faintly spiced scent of his hair drowns out the stench of greasy cooking fires and chimney smoke.
There's nothing you can hide from me.
His voice is so low, so supple I could slip into it.
The betrayal, the loss of hope, the sheer desperation that drives you still to search and search to no end. I could give you something new to live for.
I swallow thickly. How could he possibly know? No, this must be some kind of trick. But for once, Vere isn't smiling.
All that suffering has made your soul so irresistible.
His piercing eyes pin me to the spot. The look on his face makes my blood run cold. I've seen it before. Traveling through the wastes, the lanterns would occasionally reveal carcasses picked clean by starving scavengers whose eyes shone in the dark with the same ravenous hunger. Vere takes a shuddering breath.
You're trembling. What if you and I went somewhere quieter, alone? You're fun, Fulgur, even if you frequently forget your place. But if you ever call me a dog again, I'll break you. Understood? You and I may be alike, but don't ever forget what I am, or what I do best. Why? Why would I ever be amazing if I could not hear my adoring sidekicks tell me so? What's the point? What's the point if nobody tells me I'm amazing? I know I'm amazing. I tell myself I'm amazing every day. But what's the point? What's the point if you don't tell me I'm amazing too?